We want to begin tonight with an update in the death of Fishers teenager Haley Busby. Police tonight are telling us that Tyler Thomas admitted to burying her body in Perry County, Ohio. They're also confirming tonight that yesterday's search of that rental property in Hocking County, Ohio, resulted in evidence supporting the idea that a crime occurred there. Haley's family tonight is calling for a change at the state level after her death, and now state lawmakers are responding. Emily Longnecker talked with Governor Mike Braun today about Haley's law.
The news of Haley's tragic death has also gained attention here at the State House, both the attention of Governor Mike Braun and lawmakers. Haley's family has started a petition asking lawmakers to pass Haley's law, and Governor Braun said he believes that lawmakers should do something this session to address that. I spoke with some lawmakers, including two who represent Haley's family, and they say they're looking at what can be done.
We all are grieving with you. Thoughts and prayers are with you.
A message from Indiana Governor Mike Braun to the family of 17-year-old Haley Busby. The family of the Fishers teen has their own message for the people who make decisions at the Indiana State House. Pass Haley's law to protect others from online predators. The online petition calls for two things. One, a law requiring schools to teach about online predators, grooming, and digital manipulation. And two, a pink alert system. According to the petition, police did not issue an Amber Alert for Haley because they had no proof she was abducted and she was classified as a runaway. No Silver Alert went out either because Haley didn't have a disability or medical condition to warrant it. The petition says a pink alert would fill in the gaps in the alert system and cover missing people and kids when credible risk factors exist. In a tweet, Governor Braun said he's working with Indiana State Police to identify solutions to those gaps. And in an interview Tuesday, the governor also called out big tech.
Big tech is going to have to start taking responsibility. These are their platforms.
This session, the Senate considered a bill that would have put restrictions on social media for minors, but that part of the bill was taken out before the Senate passed it. Governor Braun indicated support for the request Haley's parents are making for lawmakers to do something.
I think it'd be smart to do something now while we're still in session.
Republican House Speaker Todd Houston, who represents Haley's family, says lawmakers are talking.
The first thing we're looking at is there things we can do where we're with state police around the Amber Alert system to make sure that we give them as much flexibility as possible to make sure when these types of situations arise, we can help find the young person.
And Republican State Senator Kyle Walker, who represents Haley's family, says he is working with colleagues in the House to address this in some way. I also spoke with a spokesperson for Republican State Representative Chris Jeter, and that spokesperson told me that Representative Jeter is working on an amendment to address this tragedy in some way. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Tonight, the mayor of Fishers is remembering Haley Busby. During today's State of the City address, Mayor Scott Fadness shared the things that Haley's dad wants people to know about his daughter.
Haley was a bright, smart, beautiful, hardworking 17-year-old girl. She was a great big sister who never missed an opportunity to tuck her little sister to bed. She was a good friend. She was loved by her family, and she loved her family.
And tonight we are seeing small tributes now popping up around Haley's community. Jenna Webster shows us how people are working to honor and advocate for her.
Hi there.
At the Kitchen on Main in Fortville, the lunch hour is quiet.
Yeah, I have these, and then I have a lot here that could be tied onto something.
More people are coming to the restaurant looking for ribbon.
You could take a few.
Pink, to be exact.
I personally would like to see this whole entire block just where you can't look anywhere without seeing one, just to show the support to the family.
Support for Haley Busby's family.
She deserves that.
Owner Jason Ratliff didn't start the pink tribute, but started seeing them around her neighborhood and knew the restaurant had to help.
With all the sort of not so nice things about the tragedy, that somewhere there in the middle of all that is the central focus, and that was Haley and what kind of person she was.
The 17-year-old worked at the Kitchen on Main for a little more than a year. Ratliff calls her kind, generous, and thoughtful.
We grew to love her, and she was like I said, an integral part of this restaurant. And I know that she's touched a lot of lives here in the community.
Outside, a few missing person flyers still hang on poles. But for each pink ribbon to join, it's a sign of hope and a way to advocate for Haley's Law. It would require predator and online grooming education in Indiana schools and create a new pink alert for missing people when there are risk factors.
We just got these all dropped off.
Haley's family says the tribute hasn't gone unnoticed. In a social media post, they say it's left them speechless. Thank you for honoring her life, her light, and for surrounding our family with such love. We feel it deeply. We will never forget this.
Yeah, she was a beautiful young lady.
At Kitchen on Main, Ratliff hopes the community will remember the girl for who she was.
I mean, certainly you can make a bow out of it like it is.
In Fortville, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
We have comprehensive coverage of the investigation into Haley Busby's death, from a timeline of her disappearance to a breakdown of what we know tonight about the suspect and the response from our community. It's all on WTHR.com, the 13 News app, and streaming right now over on WTHR Plus. Angela?
Scott, we enjoyed some sunshine today, late in the day after some early day snow in some locations. And right now temperatures are in the 20s. 27 Carmel, 28 Noblesville, 27 Connorsville, still some clouds, and 32 in Greensburg. The winter weather advisory that was in effect for some of our southern counties, that was allowed to expire a little bit ahead of schedule. Unfortunately, they are dealing with some heavy snow along and just south of the Ohio River from Louisville to just south of Cincinnati. None of that is moving our way. We'll stick with a gradual clearing trend over the next several hours. Bundle up out the door early tomorrow. We'll have some single digits tomorrow morning. Temperatures will climb in through the teens by mid-morning. A noontime temperature close to 20. You'll need the winter layers again tomorrow afternoon with highs in the low 20s. We get back above freezing Friday. Cold weekend, and then some 40s and 50s this time next week. I'll cover that in the 7-day forecast.
Yeah, those will be welcome temperatures, Angela. Thanks so much. Tonight, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears is calling on the community to stand together to defeat ICE. Our Rich Nye was at the breakfast this morning where the prosecutor made his remarks to a group of black pastors.
On the news every single day, we see the activities of ICE.
Prosecutor Mears made no reference to an increased ICE presence in Indianapolis or any specific incidents here. But he told the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance that ICE agents are acting above the law in cities around the country.
When I became prosecutor 7 years ago, I never once in my wildest dreams thought that we would be dealing with the issue of what are we going to do about an occupation by the federal government? What are we going to do with ICE agents who routinely violate people's constitutional rights? What are we going to do when people are literally being swept off our streets based on how they look?
The actions of ICE agents remind these black pastors too much of a time from America's past, before the civil rights movement.
The new Indianapolis police chief told the group her officers will protect the right for peaceful protest and due process for everyone who lives here.
If we win this next round
in Indianapolis,
we got to do it together.
Rich Nye, 13 News.